Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are and when you are viewing this. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Hi, it's Saturday morning before Thanksgiving. If you're in the United States, many of us celebrate Thanksgiving. In Canada, you've already celebrated Thanksgiving. In other parts of the world, different feasts and holidays and festivals are celebrated at different times. Almost always they involve food. And this Thanksgiving here in the United States, it's essentially all about food. It's like food. It's supposed to be about giving thanks. And maybe we do give thanks, but we also eat a bunch, or we have eaten a bunch. So I will talk today about my thoughts on what many of us feel are irresistible foods, particularly at this time of year. So before I get to that, let me say thank you for being here. If this is your first time, there is no set agenda. I mean, I have my topic and then I talk and then I turn my attention to comments. You're welcome to comment. You're welcome to not comment. Um, If you're watching this on replay, I hope you enjoy it. And the ketogenic protocol, as I learned it and as I have practiced it for well over 11 and a half years now, is what it is. Keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. That's 20 total grams of carbohydrate, not net grams. Why? Because net carbs is just more carbs. Don't eat if you're not hungry. A challenge over the Thanksgiving holiday. Stop eating when you've had enough. Yet another challenge over the Thanksgiving holiday. And then I've added be patient and persevere. I talked during the week one time. I have a private support group on patreon.com, link below. And I make morning snippets every weekday. And the topics are often suggested by patrons. And one topic was how do we deal with irresistible foods when presented with them? So I kind of went on a jag about it. I do speak extemporaneously, so I'm never quite sure what's going to come out of my mouth. But I got some good response to that. A couple of the patrons commented that I was both salty and spicy that day in my comments. So I figured maybe this is a good time to take that. We use words if we are able to speak. We use words. Even sometimes if we're not speaking, we're thinking. And the words are powerful. Some of the words we use towards ourselves and about ourselves are not very complimentary. Sometimes we run ourselves down. Sometimes we tell ourselves something that gets in our way. And sometimes we just say things because it's easier. We think things. We use words because those words are easier to use than challenging whether they're appropriate or not. For instance, irresistible foods. And if this is a time of year when some people feel the call of dishes, desserts, whatever, that are experiential, that they remember when they were a kid or when they, were starting their own household and making their own traditions, or, their grands and their great grands were there and passing things down, and it's all of a piece, right? And so we tell ourselves, well, actually, that's, laying off the carbs is all well and good. But at Thanksgiving, some things are just irresistible. Cornbread stuffing, or just straight up stuffing, or desserts or pies, whatever. And we tell ourselves that, and then everyone around us nods and says, yep, true that. Irresistible. Or we just accept that some foods are irresistible. Well, I made a point in my snippet, and one of my patrons liked it because I made a point that I don't think that word means what we think it means. That word being irresistible. Tip of the hat to Princess Bride. Of course, food is irresistible. Any food is irresistible. Most things in life are resistible. The only thing we really can't resist is breathing, at least not for long. Breathing is irresistible. It is an irresistible impulse. We struggle to breathe if we are being prevented from breathing. Food is not irresistible. Food is a choice. If you choose to eat the food, okay. Don't say it's because it's irresistible. We choose not to resist it. Plug in some other action, behavior, or habit for, say, chocolate pie. Chocolate pie is irresistible. Okay, well, no, it's not, obviously. But how would we feel if someone we're trying to help them come over their own behavior, and they say, "Well, I'm sorry, but I found the cocktail waitress irresistible." Honey, what? Sorry, mom and dad. I found borrowing your car at 3 a.m. irresistible. What? I'm sorry. The money in the cash register was irresistible and I had to take it. No. Same thing with the, chocolate pie and the stuffing and just about anything else. So let's go into do what you want to do, right? I am now, this will be my 12th holiday season following the ketogenic protocol. For those of you who don't know, I had been obese and morbidly obese for 30 years. From my mid-20s to my mid-50s, I tried it all. You can go to my blog. You can see some of the photographs of the summer of the triathlons where I trained for and participated in several sprint-level triathlons. I'm sure I looked hilarious doing so. I was quite large. It was a struggle. And over the course of wherever it was, 6 months, I lost 11 pounds and I was hungry all the time and I was in a pretty foul mood. Anyway, I tried it. I tried the juicing. I tried the move more, eat less. I belonged to every gym in town at one point or another. I'd given up on losing weight. I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. And this was in a January where I had just spent yet another holiday season entering it saying I would be strong and avoid those foods that made me feel gross. This was before I, was thinking about laying off the carbs. I just didn't want to overeat. I was hoping to start January not 10 pounds heavier than the previous January. So another January, I'd given up. Okay, I'm throwing up my hands. I felt terrible. I felt physically bad. I felt mentally bad, which is a mashup of emotional and mentally. And I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes, which I knew was coming. How to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. Well, it turns out the solution is you lay off the carbs. If you are on insulin or anything right now for blood sugar, you must, and you're going to start laying off the carbs, you must do so under medical supervision. It can be dangerous. The exogenous insulin becomes too strong and your blood sugar can drop too much because laying off the carbs will drop your blood sugar. Which sounds like that should have just been the answer all along. And it is. But we're entering this season and we tell ourselves something we use a lot of words incorrectly, in my opinion, Your Honor. Words like starvation mode, addicted. I'm troubled by that word. I think it's overused and inappropriately used when what it is we just really like to eat foods that we like. In my opinion, Your Honor, And I'm talking as a former fatty. I mean, I was perfectly round, and I did, I was a hot mess. Clever, smart, successful. I succeeded in everything except getting in front of my weight. It was vexing to me. But just keep in mind, now if we tell ourselves, well, I can't not eat the pecan pie. It's a tradition. Well, first of all, who started that tradition? Somebody started it, you know. So start a new tradition. And it's okay. It'll still be Thanksgiving, whether or not you eat the pecan pie. I wrote a blog post about one holiday season, and I was just busy. Everyone was coming, new grandchild, children, spouses, all that stuff. We had a nice feast. Everyone was happy. The food was delicious, and the wine was flowing. And I forgot to serve myself anything. I'm sitting at the table holding the new grandbaby. And I realized at the end, as all the food's being passed over, I never served myself any food. And I don't think I enjoyed a holiday dinner more than that one. It was fantastic. When your adult children they're fully adulted, and you just listen to the conversation and laugh. And, you know, it was still a celebration. I had I was otherwise involved in holding a new baby. It'll still be the holiday, whether or not the foods that make us feel terrible, whether we eat them or not, and we actually might enjoy it more. I'm just here to tell you. I'm the. If I can do this, you can do this. I 100% promise. I am going to turn my attention to some of these comments. And Linda Bridges of 445 writes, "Good morning from Texas and Blackfire Misty. Good morning from Sanford, Florida." And Lala 903, "Good morning, everyone from Arizona." Speaking, listening to all these places, in my Patreon group, people are from all over. So I have a patron who lives in Thailand. So was sharing feasts and festivals and holidays that are common to Thailand. And then my husband right now, my lovely mate, is in Colombia, South America. They have a whole different slew of feasts and holidays and things that are, based on certain things. Istanbul, Estonia, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Germany, France, lots of people in the UK and lots of people in Canada. And all of us can say, oh, well, there's the holiday of fill in the blank where everyone brings food and everyone eats all the time. But it'll still be that holiday whether or not we eat all the food. And just because somebody brings it doesn't mean we have to eat it. Judy Porterfield, 9613. "Good morning from Michigan." And Terry Hubbard, right? "Strength in numbers, friends. We got this. We do. We do." Kay Calla, AK. Seems to be a little difference in the name. I guess somebody's visiting somewhere. "I've made, quote, from scratch real crust chocolate pies for 45 years at all holidays and my family's birthdays. Stopped eating it in 2010 and don't even want it anymore." Okay, so this is a thing, y'all. Someone shared that over Halloween, they didn't have any candy, which was like a first. Not only that, they didn't want any. I used to tell myself that tortilla chips were irresistible, that I was powerless against tortilla chips. I loved them, which is silly. You don't love food. You should love people. We shouldn't love things. We love people. And I told myself that I can't resist. I can't see the rest of my life going without eating tortilla chips. Now, I I don't care about tortilla chips. You could put a whole giant bushel of them in front of me. I'm good. So thank you for sharing that. Veronica Calderon, 8536. Hi, Casey. Finally made a lie with you. You look beautiful as always. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Judy Porterfield writes, I'm thinking for Thanksgiving, I want to take deviled eggs, meat, and cheese tray. Pumpkin pies, because I always do that for them. That's what I'd like to do, Casey. A bit of turkey and veg, maybe. And absolutely. Yeah. So when we have served, we have people, no one goes hungry and no one complains about the food. I mean, we've done, and because my husband is from Colombia, where they don't celebrate Thanksgiving like we do here, they have other festivals and things, but they don't. My hair. I swear to goodness, guys, I hate my hair. I'm sorry to say that. And I've said it before. If I could rock a shaved head, I would shave my head. But I don't have a head. I don't have a head for that. Anywho, so when we started celebrating Thanksgiving with our family, we just did it differently. A few years we did what's called a bandeja paisa, which is a big plate in Colombia. It's bandeja paisa means plate of the country. And it's a lot of food and it's a lot of everything. And it's, full of carbs. But we do that, some years. Some years we did little Cornish game hens. Everyone got their own little personal turkey. Some years we did prime rib. Some years we did turkey. But, you've got a lovely source of protein, whether it's prime rib or turkey or duck or meatloaf. And some roasted vegetables drizzled with olive oil. I mean, and maybe a salad if you want. And everyone's talking and laughing and have a good time. So that sounds good. Why don't y'all tell me about my hair? You guys need to give me a heads up and say, Casey, do something with your hair. Ugh, it's awful. The texture of my hair has changed over the years. Now, it has nothing to do with keto because I've been doing this for nearly 12 years. But over the last 6 or 8 months, the texture of my hair has changed mightily. It might have something to do with the aging process. Judy Porterfield writes, not eat, LOL, and hold the baby and not eat, rather. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Judy Porterfield, she sometimes has to correct her previous comments. It was her autocorrect. We were on a Patreon live stream and she typed in awesome and the system autocorrected to sardines. So that is now a victory cry around Go Keto with Casey. By the way, link below, you can get magnets and stickers and mugs and stuff that say sardines. You do not have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at the ketogenic protocol. I will happily sell you stickers and mugs. Oh, and a green book. This is at Amazon. If you go to my blog, you see in the sidebar. And this is just a 12-month journal with sayings and habit trackers and adult coloring pages and mood trackers and goal setting, all that good stuff. But you don't have to buy anything. I have a private support group at patreon.com where you can try for a week, a free trial. If you like it, you stay. If you don't, you won't. But for $5 a month, you get 20 pre-recorded morning snippets every weekday morning. I just published number 2069. 64. It's 2000 something. 2060 something. And if you could just subscribe, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up. Apparently there's something you can do now. You can hype a video that you see. Not while it's live, but afterwards. I think you can only do that on the app, though. And if you hype it, it gets something. I don't know. I don't know how it works, to tell you the truth. It's just something I found out about. Perfect plan, Judy, writes Karen. And Karen writes, you look amazing. Casey, you look amazing. Well, what else are you going to say? Huh? What are you going to say? Casey, you look a sight. What's wrong with you? Tina P8213 writes, "Your hair is beautiful and elegant." Thank you. Liar. You're very kind, liar. "Keep growing it. It's lovely. Thank you for all your encouragement. It's always been so helpful." Well, thank you. This is me growing my hair, by the way. I haven't had a haircut in probably 2 or 3 months. This is me growing my hair. Karen writes, "Yeah, I've seen you some mornings in the snippets. Ha ha." See, okay. Yeah. Well, see there. Yeah. So the morning snippets, it's often I'm sipping my first coffee of the day. I've got pillow hair. I might have on yesterday's makeup or no makeup. The lighting is atrocious, always. And sometimes it's 5:15 in the morning, and sometimes it's later. So yes, that's reality, y'all. Let's be careful what we tell ourselves. We may not say out loud, "Well, I find food irresistible," but we might think it. We might feel like, and actually, I've read articles supposedly based on research that just come out and say medical professionals recognize that some people find sweet foods that they cannot resist them. Okay, how awful is that for a medical professional to say some people cannot resist sweets, sweet foods? Okay. Cannot resist? Cannot resist. Do we tell people they cannot resist tequila? And actually, alcohol, you can become physically dependent on alcohol, on opioids, which is why the word addiction, in my opinion, Your Honor, is overused when it comes to food. But why would you tell somebody, no, you can't resist it? Well, obviously you can. You know, think about that food that we think is irresistible, that plate of food, it's sitting in front of us. We say it's irresistible. If somebody walked up and said, Here's $50,000 tax free in cash, don't eat that food," I guess we'd resist it, wouldn't we? We would. I know, a little preachy, but this is it can be done. We have forces, vested interests telling us it can't be done, that we don't have it within us to do it. Would we tell our children or our grandchildren or our best friend or our sibling or our partner that they can't do something that is obviously possible to do? The only thing we can't do is hold our breath for 5 minutes. Just like breathing is irresistible. I often say, I can do anything for 5 minutes except hold my breath. So if I'm, cleaning the house, I don't like cleaning the house. I can do it for 5 minutes. I can do anything for 5 minutes other than hold my breath. And I can resist anything for 5 minutes other than breathing. Everything else is toss up. So why do we allow ourselves to be told, or why do we tell ourselves something we wouldn't say to anybody else on any other thing that is clearly possible, that is clearly doable? You don't tell your kid, no, it is simply not possible that you will study for 15 minutes and make a better grade this time. We don't tell our children as they're growing up, well, you're going to find yourself at a party with your friends and you're going to find the urge to drink or take some X or something like this. You're going to find it irresistible. So don't even try resisting. No, y'all, come on, let's get real. Thank you. I really didn't complain about my hair to fish for compliments, but thank you, Judy Porterfield. I think you look beautiful too, Casey. I think you look younger than when I started watching you years ago. Thank you. And, Judy writes keto benefits and also the benefit of better lighting and camera angle and makeup. I've been asked about my makeup. I don't generally wear too much makeup. For the morning snippets, I generally don't, but I use very simple makeup. I think I put a link at all my favorite things, not food related, are at my blog, Casey's Faves or My Faves or something. Everything from my Tibetan singing bowl when I meditate to the makeup I wear to my cutting board, I mean, to Himalayan rock salts. So, but I just use what's it called? Bare Essentials, Bare Minerals. I don't know which one it's called, and they last forever. So I just put some of that on, a little mascara. One of the benefits of burning fat for fuel, which is what the ketogenic protocol is called ketogenic because you're in a state of ketosis, which means you're burning ketone bodies, fat for fuel, rather than burning glucose or sugar for fuel. One of the benefits is if you're really doing it and sticking to it, your appetite is suppressed. You will naturally eat less if you don't eat if you're not hungry. And as other people have commented, you'll simply stop. You won't want the food that you used to eat. It's an amazing thing. I'm telling you, I told myself I know low carb works, but I can't go for the rest of my life without eating tortilla chips. Because I knew low carb works since 1977 when I was in college. I put on about 12 or 13 pounds over the first year and a half living on campus, got the, Atkins diet revolution, did the induction period, lost the weight, tossed the book, didn't think about it again. But I knew it worked. But then I started telling myself stuff, using words that I don't think I knew what they meant, or was not using them in the right way. Y'all, if you're in the United States, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, if you're fortunate to have the time off and you're fortunate to be around people who you love and who love you, keeping in mind that not everyone has that. If you're by yourself, do something kind for yourself. It doesn't have to be food related. Or if it's, get yourself a little Cornish game hen, have yourself a little personal turkey. Those were fun times, so we did that. And enjoy the meaning of the season, the reason for the season, as they say. And just know that you can do this and think how great you're going to feel in January. If you make it through and you look back and you say, wait a minute, I still had a good time. I just didn't have to eat the candy corn or the biscuits or the stuffing or the sweet potato pie with marshmallow topping. I didn't have to eat that. I still enjoyed myself. We can be grateful and we can be thankful. And we don't have to do that and be that over a giant plate of food that we don't require. All right, friends, thank you very much for allowing me to be part of your Saturday. If you can subscribe, hit the notification button, give me a thumbs up. And if you're seeing this and you have the ability to hype this video, I'm very curious how that works. I'd love to know. And Pittsburgh girl, good morning, Christina Polischik. And Judy Porterfield writes, have a blessed and beautiful Thanksgiving, Casey and all. And Pittsburgh gal writes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Back at you. And if you're not in the United States, you can be thankful anyway. Have Thursdays, just be grateful. Let's be grateful. Blackfire Misty, thank you, Casey. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next Saturday, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Bye.